Wake up, wake up. It is the Flow Show, no filter. What's up? C Tuck, Trey. Who else we got in here? Angie. Got a lot to talk about today. But before I start, let me cover my ass. No Diddy. Thoughts, views, and opinions shared on the Flow Show, no filter, are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am just good. Happy Friday. TGIF. Y'all know my favorite day. I mean, I'm off tomorrow. Hey, what's up, Megan? Good morning to all the breakfast crew. We got Jen, Laura, Alicia, Shannon. What's up, Nadrima? Nadrima says, good morning, Flo and crew. As always, C Tuck in the buildings, Cleveland finest. Punk rock girl, Sherry. All y'all in here today. What y'all? Y'all must have got good sleep last night. Thank you to everybody else up at the crack of dawn with our asses. This is another Friday. Diddy Court is back in session. Itty bitty Mohawk Diddy Smalls and his little Tootsie Roll will be on full display in the courtroom today. Hopefully, we're going crazy. We got to talk about Brendan Paul is testifying today. Y'all know he was the drug mule, allegedly, who supplied all the party drugs. He going to be telling and squealing on Diddy all day today. They say court going to be a little short today, so I don't know how short. It might be a little itty-bitty court session today. But at any rate, we're going to get into it. Also, new article comes out saying Jay-Z and Beyonce are sweating bullets of new info that might come out. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. Hey, Ebony, happy Friday. Ebony says, happy Friday to Flo and the breakfast crew. And hit the like button on the way in, everyone. Yeah, she right. Hit that like button. Some of y'all just be coming in here. When you don't hit the like button, it's like coming in the house and not taking your shoes off. Don't forget to hit the like button when you come in here. Keel said, happy Friday, Flo. Grand Rising. Y'all is Daphne. Where's y'all? Y'all must have all been off work yesterday and everybody well rested because y'all coming in here today. What else we got to talk about? We got to talk about Diddy and the this juror situation. We're gonna go into that. But announcements. I always like to start with the announcements. What's up, Munoz? So on I don't know if y'all saw this, but on one of the freak off tapes, they are saying Cassie was flat out unconscious. I don't know if y'all heard that. Put a one in the chat if y'all heard that Cassie was unconscious in one of the freak off tapes. And if that's part of the tape that these jurors was watching, Diddy ass cooked for real. It ain't no consent if your ass passed out. Okay, so all y'all saw that too. Okay, yeah, that's Melissa said she didn't see it. Yeah. I said, what the hell? I heard that this morning as I was prepping for the show. One of my trusted journalist sources that I eavesdrop on every now and then. He said, yeah, she was literally passed out unconscious on one of those freak off tapes. A lot of y'all didn't see that, didn't hear that. Yeah. I believe that's facts, but what we don't know is if that's the tape that these jurors saw. But at any rate, if it's recordings of her unconscious getting having somebody having sex with her while she's unconscious, I imagine what else is on that tape. So I don't know. This shit is crazy. Yep. And Tracy said it explains their reaction to it. Yep, man. I don't even think I've ever seen that before. Like, I've never seen nobody unconscious unless it's a movie and it was fake. But real, ain't nobody recording that. You can go on Cornhub right now. You ain't going to see that. But don't go to Cornhub. Just stay here. Let's get this show out the way. We're gonna start off with let's talk about Brendan Paul today, because that is the man of the hour. If he testifies what I think he's gonna testify about, it is going to put RICO on full display, because he is going to detail how Diddy used corporate funds to purchase drugs and move them all over the state. Move them all over the nation. That's one act of RICO, distribution of a controlled substance. I'm tired of people talking about they don't see RICO. You need to watch my damn show. Keep saying Hollywood. Yeah, Lily says I keep saying Hollywood is Devilwood. Yeah, man, Hollywood is crazy. I'm so glad. I told y'all. Now I see why they let my ass. They kept my ass out of it. It was like he ain't going for this. I didn't know, as bad as we come to know the situation in Hollywood is, it's worse than that. And that's the sad part. Like, just no souls, no conscience, no none of that. But let's get into Brendan Paul. This article comes from I like Fox News. Sometimes I don't like Fox News, but Fox News is 50-50 with me. I like some of their coverage, but this particular article seemed like a good one. Comes from Fox News. Title of the article is Diddy's alleged drug mule takes the stand with immunity deal. Trial reveals dark secrets. It says former Syracuse basketball player Brendan Paul becomes fifth witness granted immunity in Diddy sex trafficking case. Goes on to say jurors in the Sean Diddy Combs federal trial will hear from a closed alley of rapper when former Syracuse basketball player Brendan Paul takes the stand on Friday. Excuse me, y'all. I'm still thinking about her being unconscious on a freak off tape. That just is crazy. But Paul became embroiled in Diddy's legal drama in April 2024 after he was named in a lawsuit filed by Rodney Little Rod Jones. Y'all remember Rodney Little Rod Jones? He actually had the second most important lawsuit of this case. First one being Cassie, of course. But Little Rod detailed a lot of this stuff that's going on. And Little Rod claimed that Paul worked as the mule for Combs, procuring and distributing drugs and actually firearms. The former college basketball star was then charged with felony cocaine possession, which was later dropped. And we knew at the time when that was dropped, it was dropped because he was about to drop some shit on Diddy and spill the beans. Every bean in the pantry getting spilled today. I told y'all, Paul is from Shaker Heights, where I went to school. Just like Kid Cudi. They ain't got no problem getting on no damn stand. They don't care about no snitches, get stitches, all that. They getting on there so they can get back to their family and their good life and all their money. And he got a silver spoon. He is not doing no time for Diddy. That's why when he got picked up, I told everybody, oh, he about to tell everything. He ain't got no loyalty to Diddy. He from Shaker Heights. He about to get up on that stand talking like a Rhodes Scholar. Sinking his ass. Thank you, Angie Bent, for the super sticker, $10 super sticker. Remind me some good lunch on Angie today. I really appreciate you. Let me put that on the screen so the rest of y'all can see. Thank you, Angie. Everybody say thanks to Angie for feeding my belly. Y'all know the super stickers and super chats go to a good cause. My damn belly. Look, Flo, Angie got you, belly. Yep. Thank you. My belly says thank you. So let's continue. So Paul, once his charges were dropped, you didn't have to be, it wasn't rocket scientist that he was about to be telling on Diddy. He was given immunity in exchange for his testimony, which will be today if the juror don't catch swine flu. They coming up with all kind of stuff. Please, jurors, just get your asses to court today. We don't got time for this. All these postponements. And y'all know Paul been ready. He been putting that same suit on. Paul been ready since Monday. Ain't nothing like, as a guy, especially he don't seem like a guy that always wears suits. Ain't nothing like putting, it take a guy who don't wear suits, even like me. It take me probably 2 hours to put all that suit shit on. And then you there, and then you can't even get on the stand. Then you got to take all that suit off, all them jackets, all that stuff, and put it back on. And then he still couldn't get on the stand. So I know he frustrated. So hopefully I don't see any reason why he shouldn't be able to get on the stand today. Yes, you laughing at swine flu. Yeah, they coming up with all kind of stuff. They're going to be like, the juror today couldn't make it because he got tuberculosis. I'm like, man, that was out in 1920. They still got that. Get your ass in there, or get the alternate. I told you they be needing my granny on some of this stuff. My granny, when the one got vertigo, she'd have been like, stay your ass home and alternate. Get your ass up and make yourself useful. We ain't got time to be waiting on nobody. But anyway, Paul was given immunity. Nicole Becker explained that Paul may be a crucial witness to the government as it attempts to tie up loose ends and wrap its case around Diddy. Sounds like Jen said, hey, look, Jen said sounds like a stall tactic. One thing I like about our community is we don't believe shit. we don't believe nothing, and I like it. Jen said sounds like a stall tactic. When I made that video about maybe like we don't know what's up with this juror, we think it might be something up, man, everybody in the comments said the same thing. In the comment section, I was like, one thing about my people, we don't believe shit unless you got a receipt. Where's your note talking about this vertical you got, my boy? We want to see it in writing. Anyway, this young lady goes on to say, in this particular case, while Brendan Paul may be important, it's because he's allegedly one of the individuals who supplied the drugs. No shit. The distribution of drugs, giving other people drugs to make them intoxicated and possibly do more than they would have done without them. That's a predicate felony. To the people in the back of the classroom that don't listen, predicate felony, why is that important? That is important because you need 2 predicate felonies to prove RICO. This is why a lot of people don't understand when they say, I don't see RICO. It's because you don't understand RICO. RICO is not one thing. RICO is 2 predicate offenses within a 10-year period that is carried out by a criminal enterprise. So if distributing a controlled substance is proven, that's 1. If Diddy blowing up Kid Cudi's car is proven, that's 2. That's arson. That's RICO. That's 30 years. Goodbye. Or it could be the sex trafficking with Cassie and all the alleged victims. Could be 1. And then bribery, as he's paying people off, like he paid off, like Diddy allegedly paid for that video with him and Cassie, when he was putting hands and feet all over Cassie. He paid for that video. That's bribery. So if you get sex trafficking and bribery, that's RICO. 30 years. Go sit your ass down. It's not that complicated. But people, they watch too many movies and they think RICO is sending 100 bergs of cocaine in the air across seas and kidnapping women and children and putting them in white vans and tying them up with their hands behind their back and all. That ain't RICO. It could be RICO, but RICO could be very simple. So to the people that say they don't see RICO, you need to look up, you need to do a little research and understand what the hell it is. You're not going to see it. It's not one thing. It could be a list of things. You only need 2. In this case, the prosecution has proven bribery. The prosecution has proven arson. The prosecution has proven kidnapping. The prosecution has proven sex trafficking. The prosecution today is on their way finalizing proving moving a controlled substance. That's 5 or 6 things right there. And I ain't even got into obstruction of justice. That's 6 or almost 6 or 7. And to think you only need 2 of these. This is why it don't look too good for your boy Mohawk Diddy Smalls with the itty bitty Tootsie Roll. In other words, in order to prove this particular charge of racketeering, there's got to be a number of other felonies that can connect. This is said by an attorney. So if you don't want to listen to me, listen to a damn attorney saying the same thing I'm saying. Whether it's coercion of women, and they indicated, I didn't even bring up the coercion part. That's another item that makes up RICO. That's one way to prove the predicate. You have to prove 2 of them. So another way to prove a predicate felony is bring in the guy who supposedly is the one who was supplying P. Diddy and or his people with drugs, party drugs, pills, whatever. Not too hard if you just read. RICO, the thing is, once you get into a conspiracy RICO case, it's hard to beat it, especially when all your employees are flipping on you because they're proving the case. Because another important element of RICO, crucial element, I don't say it's important, it's like extremely crucial, is you use your company and your employees who are there to be marketing music, marketing fashion. They're there to be doing regular employee stuff. And instead of doing that, you got them running around buying drugs, flying across, putting them in their luggage, flying across planes. You got them setting up your illegal freak-offs. This is not what they were hired to do. So when you hire employees to do regular work and you also pay them to help you carry out illegal activities, guess who you'll be saying hi to? Mr. RICO. I don't want to say that no more. You know, in the flow community, we know exactly what's going on. I'm just talking to the jerks who just so confused about RICO. Like, it's not that hard. So what did you say? Angie, and y'all said, oh yes, and the extortion. Look, Punk Rock Girl, you trying to sink Diddy for 150 years. You adding on to it. Go ahead, Punk Rock Girl. Punk Rock Girl says, and the coercion of Cassie's parents was gross. And then, I mean, not the coercion, the extortion, excuse me, the extortion of Cassie's parents. For those who might not know, Diddy was mad at Cassie because she was fooling around with Kid Cudi. So he, being petty Diddy, calls Cassie's parents and says, if y'all don't wire over $20,000, I'm putting this freak off tape out about your daughter, and it's gonna ruin her and ruin y'all. And what did they have to do? They sent Diddy, a billionaire. They scraped up and got a fucking home equity line of credit to send this man $20,000. This nigga, he evil, y'all. I don't care what. No, that's why when people be like, "Why you so hard on Diddy?" Because I don't like people like that. And it ain't gotta just be Diddy. It's just that we talking about Diddy. It could be dude down the street. When you bully and take advantage of people, I don't fuck with you. Period. Dot. That's it. So everybody so focused on Diddy. This is me 24/7. It just so happened that we're talking about Diddy ass right now. But I don't like bullies. You a billionaire, and because you butt hurt because she found somebody else to talk to, you gonna call her parents who's struggling and make them scrape up $20,000 and live in fear that their daughter about to get exposed? You deserve to rot. And I don't give a damn who don't like it. Because I'm the only one allowed to not like it. Like I told y'all, everywhere I go, I get love. That's how I know people respect the real. Like, come on now. So anyway, that's extortion. That is another predicate felony. That's what I'm saying. It's so many predicate felonies in this case. It's damn near impossible to not get a RICO conviction. That's why a lot of people, when the R. Kelly thing was going on, people were saying this ain't RICO because people don't understand RICO. They think it's just gang crime activity, and that's not what RICO is. That's just what the movies tell y'all. That's why when R. Kelly got 30 years, a lot of people were surprised. But guess what the predicate felonies were that got R. Kelly 30 years? Bribery and forced labor. We didn't even speak about that. That's another predicate felony in this case. Forced labor. You don't understand what forced labor is? This is forced labor. Your ass better you better keep your mouth shut, and you better continue to either help me with these freak offs or participate in these freak offs, or I'm gonna put this sex tape out about you. Bam, forced labor. You don't even have to actually do it. Just saying that brings forced labor into the equation, and that's another predicate felony to RICO. Ladies and gentlemen, if anybody says they don't see RICO, just tackle their ass at this point. I don't have no time to break it down to them no more. You can't see all of that. That's your fault. Illegal, dirty money. Yes. Benny's back in the building. Benny, you a little late, man. You must have been studying up, brushing up on your spelling a little bit. Oh, Benny, hey, they said Benny using spell check guy. See, I told y'all that's one thing about our community. You will come in here trolling, but we will make you better because your ass get cooked. Now Benny's spelling everything right. Look at Benny, y'all. Hey, y'all, let me put Benny's comment on full display because I'm proud of Benny. If you see this sentence that he wrote, everything spelled right. Where you at, Benny? See, here we go. Look at Benny, y'all. Benny says, see if they notice the spelling. Y'all notice everything is spelled right. I'm not in love with the sentence structure, but everything is spelled right. And some of the words aren't even in capital, in all caps. So everybody, let's give Benny his props for that. Because I was telling Benny, you can't type in all caps all the time and make you look like a serial killer. Sometimes you got to use regular, like lowercase letters, my boy. Yeah. Hey, look. Now, Benny, quit trying to be. Here go Benny again. Talking about now he got to be mean, Benny. Talking about he don't give a damn about nobody in here. But he wake up at the crack of dawn every morning and he making sure now he spells shit right. You care, Benny. That's why you using spell check. Because when you first came in here, you were spelling stuff. Wow. So let me continue. Glad to have you, Benny. My show always does the best numbers when Benny in here because you had a chat so riled up. They all get to going back and forth with you. Then after this, they all got to rewatch the whole show. It just drives my number up. So thank you, Benny. And Melissa said, we'll get the fuck out. Okay, I'm going to let y'all have Benny. Let me continue with the show. Benny done got me sidetracked a little bit. So let's continue. Throughout the 2 weeks, the jurors heard allegations of freak-off parties involving male escorts and Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. The singer used different drugs, including ecstasy, ketamine, cocaine, and more. Cassie admitted ecstasy made her feel euphoric and aroused, while ketamine would make her disassociate from what was going on. She said cocaine made her heart race, mushrooms made her see things, and GHB, also known as a date rape drug, made her feel drunk. I can't believe they were shoving all these drugs down their throat. Like Diddy is up. Because see, the thing is, yeah, these people have their, like, let me be honest. Let's put it full transparency. Cassie was grown, and Cassie has a right and is expected to make her own decisions. That being said, being a leader, you need to lead. I've been a leader my whole life. I would never force nobody to 7, 8 drugs down their throat. You just don't do that. Just because people are following your lead and people are willing to do what you ask them to do, that don't mean it gives you the right to coerce them into. I didn't even know people took this many drugs. Like usually I thought, a person might, if they're into drugs, they might have 1 or 2 that they like. Seems like he had Cassie taking everything under the sun. So another ex testified under the pseudonym Jane, told prosecutors there were times she felt coerced into these hotel freak-off nights with Diddy. And she also took the drugs. And in turn, for her doing these freak-offs, he paid for her lawyer and he paid her rent. And we already know there were many times that Diddy would hold that over her head and say, if you don't shape up, or I'm going to ship you out and I ain't going to pay your rent. That sounds like nothing, right? But when you have somebody coerced into doing these freak-offs and you're paying their rent and you say, I'm not going to pay your rent anymore if you don't participate in these illegal freak-offs, that is coercion. That's coercion. Like, it's no way around it. And I hate when people use this example. Man, if that's the case, I can't. If I stop paying what if I stop paying my chick's rent? First of all, this ain't about you. This is some big time shit going on. You ain't no Diddy. You ain't operating no criminal enterprise. You just doing your regular thing. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but you can't compare yourself. This is a whole nother thing. And on top of that, you're leaving out the part that, are you having your girlfriend or wife get banged by male sex workers that you flying in from all over the nation? So you leaving that part out. That's where it comes into play. We're not talking about a consensual couple and you just paying her rent. You're not making her do nothing illegal or nothing. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about forcing someone into illegal sex acts, illegal commercial sex acts, and then saying, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to stop paying your rent. That is coercion. But you can't leave out all the illegal crap going on. I'll be cooking these Diddy supporters, but just with facts. Like I tell people all the time, I'm on the side of what's right. I don't just pick a side or just pander to nobody. If Diddy was innocent or if this case was weak, I would be on this podcast saying that. It just so happened I think he's guilty as hell, and the evidence is overwhelming. R. Kelly, to me, this case is 100 times stronger than R. Kelly's case. And that court in New York, same place we at right now, that court gave R. Kelly 30 years like it was 30 minutes. Slam the gavel, he gone. So if R. Kelly got a guilty verdict for RICO, his RICO look weak as hell compared to Diddy. Diddy got, it's like when you playing Uno and you got 1,000 cards in your hand. I don't give a damn what color is gonna be on the deck. You got it in your hand. That's how many predicated acts of RICO Diddy has. Pick one. We named about 8 or 9 of them. R. Kelly's case wasn't even like that. He didn't have like 8 or 9 different RICO predicated felonies. He had like 3 or 4 maybe, but I think it was like 3. And they got him for 3. They got him for the bribery. They got him for the forced labor. And then they also got him for the sexual exploitation. So, let's continue. Jane also recalled a time when she was abused. They had a fight, domestic violence. Diddy also paid Jane's rent, which he called a love contract. We know that she told the prosecution that she felt obligated to perform these freak-offs for the rapper because he threatened to stop paying her home. Jane claimed she was expected to dress in lingerie and have sex with other men in front of Diddy. So she was having sex, and Diddy's little creepy beady eyes was in the corner somewhere, pleasuring himself with a bandana tied around his nose, creeping everybody out. Even the sex workers was like, I was doing it for the money, but it was creeping me out that Diddy was, or even some of them didn't know that he was Diddy at the time. They was like, he would be behind them saying like weird shit. So it'd be like the sex worker would come in there, and then she would say, well, he wants you to have sex with me, and he gonna watch. Don't worry about it. It's all normal. And so the sex worker would be doing it, and then they say he would hear Diddy say like, I wish I could penetrate him and stuff like that. And they said it was very awkward. But that's neither here nor there. The bottom line is you can be as freaky as you want to be. Ain't nobody judging what you do in your bedroom. But these were illegal sex acts. That's another misconception that I'm hearing in the streets and in the comment section, and people like Benny, itty bitty Benny. Ain't nothing wrong with being a freak. No, it ain't. But it's always wrong to do illegal shit. Meaning, you can be a freak, but you can't be paying people for sex and getting sex work. That's illegal. That's prostitution. Where do we come to in a society? That's why I always say, take me back to the 90s, because this shit is crazy. When did we get to the point when we don't even understand that prostitution is illegal? What year did that come into play? Because in the 90s, we knew prostitution was illegal, and you didn't have to argue with nobody about was it illegal or not. All of a sudden in 2025, you got a group of people that act like they don't even know that prostitution is legal. Tomorrow, he just being a freak. I ain't seen it. I don't know what he doing wrong. He hiring prostitutes, motherfucker. All right, since he ain't doing nothing wrong, I want you to post on your page, I'm paying $500 to with any prostitute that want to come through. Post it on your Facebook and post it every day and see how long it be before your ass sit next to Diddy. I don't see nobody posting why you can't just DoorDash some ass if ain't nothing wrong with it. You can DoorDash anything. Anybody will tell y'all I'm the DoorDash king. I was the first person DoorDashing clothes way back when people didn't even know about DoorDash. I needed a hoodie. I needed a hoodie. I'm DoorDashing it. People was like, how the fuck you order clothes and get it in 20 minutes because of DoorDash? But you can't DoorDash no ass. You know why? Because it's illegal. Y'all educate yourselves on what's going on if you don't understand what's going on in this case. Because y'all make me he said DoorDash some ass flow cracked me up. For real though. They really like people who don't listen, people who act like they don't know it's illegal, they won't do none of this shit. They won't post, hey y'all, I got $250 who want to come through and have sex. Because why? They know it's illegal. But when it comes to this Diddy trial, all of a sudden, they stuck on stupid. All of a sudden, they don't know prostitution is illegal. Let me get back to this. I ain't got time for this on a Friday. Y'all know Friday's supposed to be laid back. I'm about to open up the kitchen and start cooking motherfuckers in a minute. Let me relax. Audio released in Diddy's sex trafficking case. You can hear Diddy calling Jane his crack pipe, and she called him her crack pipe. Just I didn't understand that either. Like anything Diddy, even his pet names was wild. You know, we call our women baby, hey, sweetheart, baby. Diddy call you his crack pipe. Hey, crack pipe. And they be sitting up there thinking that's romantic. Anybody in here ever been called a crack pipe by your significant other? So look, goes on to say it is very common, especially in federal cases, that immunity is given to witnesses if they have information that can help the prosecution. And that's what we got going on here. We got a lot of employees who said, look, I don't want to do no time for Diddy, so I am going to tell on his ass. Well, y'all, we at I think 6 weeks in, and the prosecution will be, it's a shortened day today. So I don't know if the prosecution will be resting their case today, because I don't know if they're going to get through. Because last I heard, it was Brendan Paul and 2 other people that they were trying to get through. So I don't know if they will be resting their case now. But it's throwing my timing off, y'all, because y'all know I want to be there for the verdict. So what I'm trying to figure out, I think I'm going to fly out to New York like the last day, which should be like next week, the last day that the defense puts on their case. And hopefully, well, I don't know, if the last day is Friday, then it will be the following Monday I will fly out there. Hopefully they don't deliberate too long, but I'm going to plan on being out there for a week. I don't think the jury will deliberate longer than a week. As a matter of fact, I'm really thinking 2 or 3 days, but I'll plan to be out there for the full week. So we will be out there, and all my Diddy VIP people, we will be a part of history, and I will take y'all with me to New York as they give this verdict, the verdict of a century. This is probably the biggest verdict in my lifetime for sure. O.J. Simpson was one, but this is bigger than that, in my opinion. So that's my plan, y'all. I'm trying to plan it so I'm there when the verdict is read. And so I think if I go right when the defense rests their case, mind you, they only said they're only going to have 2 to 5 witnesses. So I'm sorry, 2 to 5 days is how long the defense will be on the presenting their case. Which that's another thing that don't look good for Diddy, because they don't have no witnesses standing up for his ass. Only 2 to 5 days, and to me, that's probably closer to 2 or 3 days. So, the minute, how y'all think that sound? Getting out there like right the last day, or depends on when they finish. If they finish Wednesday, I'm gonna go out there Wednesday, because they might get a verdict Thursday or Friday. But if it stretches to Friday, which it looks like, then I'll go out to New York Monday, and hopefully I'll stay out there from Monday to maybe Monday to Thursday. And within that time, I'm pretty sure they should give a verdict. So that's the plan on that. So let's continue. What else is on the agenda today? What else will we talk about? Let's talk about Beyonce and Jay-Z scrambling. I thought that was interesting. And this is on Radar Online. Now, I like Radar Online. Radar Online, I like them because they're not scared to talk about shit that a lot of these publications be scared to talk about. And so I like Radar Online, but they have an article. This is breaking news where they say revealed. The huge power couple is still sweating over being dragged into Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking trial. Jay-Z and Beyonce are still paranoid, and I thought they was over. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I thought they were riding off into the sunset because they hadn't been brought back up. But apparently, I've heard it through multiple articles. I just rather use Radar Online, but there are multiple articles covering that Jay-Z and Beyonce are sweating bullets, fearing that at any moment they could be dragged into this mess. So let's go into Radar Online article. Will you? Sean Diddy Combs' ongoing sex trafficking trial has kept one of Hollywood's power couples on the edge of their seats, out of fear their names could be mentioned in the courtroom. While neither Beyonce nor her husband has been accused of any wrongdoing, sources allege they have their attorneys on standby while they keep a close eye on this case. Although they have yet to be mentioned or accused in this case so far, the couple have been friends with Bad Boy Records founder for decades. Jay-Z's connection with Diddy dates back to the 1990s. So far, the trial has been shocking testimony and evidence of Combs' notorious star-studded events called drug-fueled freak-offs. A source reportedly said, obviously, they were living in the same world as Diddy for a long time, so they could be mentioned. Now, let me stop right quick, because let me say this. Y'all already know Diddy didn't have no problem dragging Kanye West into this mess when he kept mentioning what the hell, when his defense team kept mentioning what the hell was going on in Vegas. The defense team are the ones who continuously kept bringing up Vegas and bringing up when Jane was in Vegas and who she was with. And if you remember, the defense team, albeit by sticky notes passed by Diddy, wanted the judge to name names. They said it was unfair to keep these celebrity names and other names anonymous because this is a public trial. Now, if you friends with Kanye, a true friend, why would you want to out him? Because I'll tell you the answer. Diddy don't give a shit. So why am I saying all this? I'm saying all this because we don't know what Diddy will try to pull on his defense side of this argument. Just like he pulled Kanye West into this thing to the point where Kanye West had to try to come to the damn court. Kanye West was trying to show support because he said, shit, Diddy is getting close to just ratting on me. So he came to the court. So what I'm saying is, and that was as the prosecution was presenting their case, Diddy found a way to name drop without name dropping. So it is not too far-fetched to think that he might figure out some type of way to bring Jay-Z and Beyonce just to take some of the attention off him and as a way to say, F y'all for not helping me. Kind of like what he did with Kanye. Because I don't care what nobody say. Diddy is very calculating. He did that on purpose. He kept bringing that Vegas incident up on purpose for two reasons. He probably was still mad that Kanye was fooling around and had his little sex worker or whatever out there with him. And on top of that, he like, I'm about to bring some of y'all names in this mess too. Y'all not about to leave me alone. And y'all know we all was doing this freaky stuff. So I think this is why this article is coming out at the time that it is, because those 2 to 5 days that the defense, and y'all know sticky note Diddy, he been passing sticky notes out like Uno cards to his defense team. And, you know, Diddy be giving them that eye like, you better say what's on this sticky note or that check gonna bounce. And them lawyers standing up there reading off them sticky notes like they life depend on it. So don't be surprised if Diddy be passing some sticky notes like, make sure you find a way to bring Jay-Z and Beyonce into this mess. And if the lawyer take like 2 or 3 minutes, if the lawyer's speaking for 2 or 3 minutes and don't mention Jay-Z and Beyonce, Diddy gonna pass him 5 more sticky notes. And if you don't read it, he gonna pass sticky notes to the other attorney. Whoever listen to Diddy is the one that gets to speak. That's why them lawyers be reading the hell out of Diddy's sticky notes. So let me continue with the article. Just want to give you a little context of why they may be bringing this article out now. The insider clarified that they did anything wrong. They didn't, but they really don't want their names associated with this trial. They feel like they didn't do anything wrong, but they still sweating bullets. It also goes on to say, and I quote, they really want to make sure they aren't dragged into this mess because it's really ugly. This whole thing has stressed them out from the start. According to the source, a key point of frustration for the couple, Jay-Z and Beyonce, who have been married since 2008 and share children, Blue Ivy, Rumi, and Sir, has been previous drama that erupted over their ties to Combs. They have had, I should say, previous drama because of Diddy. And this is why they're paranoid. We all know in December 2024, 3 months after Combs was arrested, Tony Busby threw some charges about being caught up with a 13-year-old with Diddy and Jay-Z. That was ultimately thrown out, and Jay-Z beat that. But it still left a little stain, and it shows how quick charges can come, and your ass could be in hot water. Also, in April, a man named Joseph Manzaro accused Combs of assaulting him at a 2015 party in which he claimed Beyonce and Jay-Z witnessed this alleged incident. Now, while the duo's attorneys successfully discredit Manzaro's claims by proving that they weren't even there, they were in Hawaii at the time, the source said the lawsuit still got under their skin. Cammy, hey, Cammy says the Carters are already losing a lot of money deals. Yes, they are. And that's what they fear if more allegations and more situations come out. They said that the last one was an obvious lie, but it got all sorts of press, but hardly any coverage when it was proven it was a lie. Now, see, that ain't talking about me, because y'all know one thing about me. I'm firm, but I'm fair. And I covered the initial lawsuit against them, but when it was proven to be untrue, I also covered and made a video about it being proven to be untrue. No matter anybody's opinions or whatever, my job is to be fair. And one thing about it, if I put out information about a lawsuit that I'm covering, and then that lawsuit is found to be untrue, I always make sure I put that out as well. So I'm not one of those people that just, once it's found to be untrue, I just move on, because I don't think that's fair. So, but they saying like a lot of publications didn't do that. Well, a lot of publications ain't me. This is why I'm soaring to the top with my flow community, and y'all got my back, and we are crushing this shit. And it's not no secret that everybody on social media know who is the top dog when it comes to covering. Right now I'm covering Diddy, but I don't care what I'm covering. They can't do it like your boy. And so shout out to y'all for supporting me from the very start. And now we kicking ass and taking names. Fat Joe, yeah, I was gonna get into that. That's maybe at some point I'll be able to get into that. Fat Joe, if y'all don't know the rapper Fat Joe, this is Patricia. Hey, Patricia. Fat Joe has a RICO that he looking at. You know, RICO is they handing out RICO. They handing out RICO like it's water. Like anybody can get it at this point. And hey, Dickie is back. Who believes a drug dealer only if you testify against Diddy? Ridiculous. Well, in all RICOs, the people operating in the illegal drug or just illegal crime activity, all the witnesses are involved in illegal things. That's why they're witnesses, and that's why they're involved in a RICO, Dickie, itty bitty Dickie. See, when you got a RICO, everybody is doing illegal stuff, and witnesses, snitches bring down the head all the time. So that statement you just made, even though you did spell everything correctly, which is, that's not nothing to sneeze at when we're talking about you, because your spelling is crazy. But you spelled everything correctly. I'm going to give you credit for that. But I'm going to take away credit because everyone who turns snitch in a RICO trial is a criminal. If not, they wouldn't be on the stand snitching. So the fact that he was a drug dealer or whatever, that don't mean nothing. Nice try. But nah. So hey, look, Dickie trying to change to Benny. I want to see Benny. I'm gonna make it harder for him. Hey, Benny, Dickie, we want to see Benny and Dickie talk at the same time. You can't keep switching and fooling us with the same nickname that rhyme, and only one of y'all speaking at a time. I need both of y'all to say something at the same time. This is a smart community. We don't play that. I need you to say, I need it to be back to back. I need Benny, then I need Dickie. Or y'all the same person and you just outed your own self because y'all keep coming in. What type of trolls come in one at a time? Dickie, tell me that. What type of trolls come in one at a time? And they say, okay, now as soon as you leave, then I'm gonna come in. And then when you leave, I'm gonna come in. Unless they are the same person. And that is why their names rhyme, because he tried to act like another person, but his brain couldn't quite grasp the concept of, can you make the names different? Don't make them rhyme, because then we're going to know you're the same person. So shout out to Dickie, a.k.a. Benny, for switching his account and blowing up our numbers. I really appreciate it. So Beyonce and Jay-Z are sweating bullets. What else we got? What else we got? We got a little time left. What else did we want to go into today? There is they're going back and forth talking about Diddy testifying or not. This comes from Business Insider, and it's titled, Diddy beat one criminal trial after testifying. Will he make the same gamble again? What they're talking about is lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs haven't said if he will testify or not. The rumor was he wasn't going to testify, but now I'm hearing people say he might. So we'll just have to wait and see. Legal experts warn that testifying could open him up to a damaging, devastating cross-examination. Yeah, hey, Cammy said Dickie / Benny are Diddy's sons with burner phones. Yeah, it is. Combs took the stand in 2001 over that guns and bribery trial, and he was acquitted. Sean Diddy Combs made a bold move when he testified at his Manhattan gun and bribery trial more than 2 decades ago. Combs, who's facing up to 15 years in prison on state charges related to a 1999 Times Square nightclub shooting involving him and J-Lo. J-Lo been awful quiet. You don't know anything, J-Lo? J-Lo. Hey, look, J-Lo ain't been saying shit. Let me continue. I thought I was being shot at, Combs said, and played the victim role, and he said my hands were up. Back then, the jury believed hip-hop mogul, listening to his life story, laughing at his jokes, and ultimately awarding him a full acquittal. The rapper said, "God has blessed me," and he beat the case. Speaking about his mom, he said, "She's my mother. It's like a full-time job," he said when asked to name Janice Combs' profession, eliciting warm laughs and from the female jurors. So basically, they said he had the jury eating out the palm of his hand back in that trial. But with all the stuff they've heard now, I don't know if those jokes will hit home if he get on that stand. They're going to be like, yeah, but what about the baby oil and all that, bro? So the article goes on to say, if Combs decides to testify in his Manhattan federal sex trafficking and racketeering trial, he might not be as lucky. Combs' team of attorneys has yet to hint at whether the graying, now 55-year-old man will take the stand, but we shall see. But lawyers who are not involved in the case told Business Insider that testifying could backfire badly and expose the one-time near billionaire to potentially damaging cross-examination from the prosecution. And you can say that again, because they're going to tear him a new one if he get up on that stand. They say it's a very risky move. One attorney says, adding that it would likely have to be a last resort, a bit of a Hail Mary situation, meaning a last second buzzer beater. He has to try to testify to save the case. So that would be the only way they say they would put the defense, put Diddy on the stand. Also, they say in a case like this, it is very rare for a criminal defendant to succeed by getting on the stand. This is their words, not mine. If it was me, I would want to get up and speak up for myself. But when you're guilty, you're probably better off not getting on that stand and letting the cards fall how they fall. So I don't know. If Combs does take the stand, damaging new information may emerge, and prosecutors will surely revisit the most damning evidence presented so far, including the infamous hotel beatdown, which showed Diddy kicking and dragging her by her hair down the hallway and all type of stuff. The videotape of beating Cassie will be one of the first items that will be cross-examined with him. And how does one explain that away? The article goes on to say, you can't really explain it away. And if you even try, you're going to only dig yourself a deeper hole. Also, the article goes on to say, this one guy who was saying all this, Michael Bachner, he was a part of Diddy's legal team back in 2001 with the previous shooting that we were talking about. Combs' lawyers have already done a good enough job raising enough doubts where he wouldn't recommend putting Diddy on the stand. So we say all that to say, we don't know if Diddy getting on the stand, but everybody, most of the experts have saying that Diddy doesn't need to and should not take the stand. He should let his billion-dollar attorneys do what they do. Everybody's saying if he take the stand, he's gonna damage his case. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he's probably not gonna testify. If you just asking me what my guess, I'm gonna say he's not gonna testify. What y'all think? In the chat. Somebody said it's very entertaining chat today. Love you, Angie. Oh yeah, the chat. We got the best chat online. Y'all be in there cooking. We got the only chat that you can get cooked, crock potted, roasted, pan seared, deep fried, oven baked, flame broiled, all of the above. You coming in this chat. Cooking this morning, Melissa say. Look, somebody said, Dickie, you can't get Flo to talk to you, so you attack Angie. You're such a bitch. I had to read that for you, Patricia. Some swear words got to be read out loud just so people can get the full extent. Itty bitty Dickie. He got tired of being Benny, so he had to change to Dickie. Itty bitty Dickie. So anyway, y'all, we're looking forward to a good informative court day today. I got work to do. I don't know if it'll be today. If not today, Monday, the prosecution will be resting their case. It's been a long journey. Let's get the I'm outs in the chat. Hey, Laura, I didn't see you in here. Laura, when'd you get in here? Let's get the I'm outs in the chat, y'all. Another Friday, another week of the Flow Show, No Filter, another successful week. Much love to all of y'all for supporting and just being there for me every time I turn this laptop on. Y'all right there ready to do what we do. Melissa says, I'm out. Punk Rock Girl says, I'm out. Who else says I'm out? Lily says, I'm out. Have a good weekend, everyone. Angie says, I'm out. Happy weekend to everyone. Much love, much love, much love. I will look out for me. I will have an update today. Kathy says, out. I will have an update of what's going on. So make sure you follow me on social media, Flow Daddy Flow on Instagram and Facebook, and then Flow Daddy Flow Backup on TikTok. So at any rate, y'all know me. I love y'all, but I am out.